My guest today on the video version of Salon Radio is Aaron Weber, who is the videographer who produced the now famous, virally famous video clip of yesterday's anti-Park 51 rally in Lower Manhattan, and we're here to discuss the events that led him to film that episode and what it is that he saw. Thanks so much for joining me, Aaron.
Oh, thank you. No problem, Glenn.
So I'd like to start with asking you just what is it that led you to go to that rally yesterday? Are you supportive of that group's aims? Are you opposed? What is it that led you to go there?
No, I'm not necessarily supportive of them. I sort of consider myself politically neutral. But no, one of the reasons I love living in New York is that there's history here happening all the time. So when I heard that there was going to be this event that I thought was going to be historically significant, I thought I should go there and experience it. So
is it your intention to report on it in any way or record it? Are you a professional videographer or journalist, or what was your intention in that regard?
No, I'm not in any way I would be considered a professional. My only intent was to go down there and experience everything, and then I thought perhaps I might put my findings on Facebook. A few of my quotes that I heard or some pictures that I took, I put on Facebook, and I was actually in the process of sort of getting ready to leave when I sort of encountered that and was able to luckily film it. So.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about, before we get to that specific episode, the general climate that you observed and that you experienced. Can you talk about what it was that you had observed just in general, what the tenor of the rally was and things of that nature?
Certainly. Well, it started, of course, with the speeches that were being made further up on the street. And the first thing that I overheard, I don't know the name of the lady who was actually speaking, but she was in her speech talking about how Muslims hadn't signed the Declaration of Independence and they hadn't signed the Constitution, therefore America really owes them nothing. And that was sort of the tenor of my experience as it began. And then I hung around and watched some of the signs and watched some of the people interact with the sort of the people who were against the rally. And then after that ended, they broke up and they moved, half a block down to where the final incident occurred. And my feelings on the tenor of it were basically that it didn't seem so much anti-mosque, it seemed anti-Islam. And I found that Obama was lumped in with Islam as though they were part and parcel, one and the same. A couple of the people that I overheard speaking, it sort of implied that they felt like it wasn't so much that Obama was a terrorist, but that he was, an enabler of the terrorists. And so.
And would you say that the majority or the bulk of the messages in terms of signs or chanting or speeches was very specific to the location of this particular community center and objections about its being too close to Ground Zero? Or is it more just a general inveighing against Islam and Muslims generally?
Generally, I would guess it seemed like more of a 50-50 split. I mean, there were certainly a number of signs that were, one sign, mosques, Hamas supports mosques, and but other ones were very specific about being anti-Islam as well. And one guy in particular had a sign that I believe that said, Islam equals rape and slavery and murder. And I asked him to hold it up so I could take a photograph of him. And when he held it up, I looked at the sign and I said, really? And he said, yes, it's true. It's an evil cult. America must destroy it, which I had a hard time with. But yeah, so I would say, yeah, it's about 50-50 split.
And so let's get to this incident then. Just describe how it unfolded from your vantage point and what it is that you saw and heard.
Well, it's interesting because, I feel like that there was a series, if a certain series of events hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been in that exact spot to catch that exact moment. And to be honest, I was trying to film the crowd before I ultimately filmed that last scene, and I was trying to have them on record, saying no more mosques or no mosques here. And every time I tried to film it, they would stop. And so I was like,